Hi everyone! My name is Katy, and today we are flipping through my entire 2024 reading journal, so let's get started. So this year I used an A5 journal from Notebook Therapy in the Nighttime Edition colorway. It had a black cover and rose gold foiling and rose gold gilded edges. And I got it pretty chunked up, but I didn't use any cardstock in this journal, so it's a lot thinner than my previous journals. And I really loved using this journal this year. So getting started, I'm flipping forward to my nameplate page. I kept this pretty simple with just my name and some stickers. And then we have my yearly cover page, and I love how this looks. It's one of my favorite Maragona Sully art stickers. I love the colors and the vibes. And then we have my yearly bookshelf spread, and I completely filled this one up, and I just love how it looks. I love all of the purples and the colors and all of the different stickers that I used. I'm just really proud of this one. And it's a really good start to the journal. And then we have my Zodiac favorites. So this is my version of a monthly favorite spread, but by Zodiac season. Some of my favorite books of the year are on this spread, being The Serpent and the Wings of Night, A Fate Inked in Blood, and The Crimson Moth. And then we get into some of my trackers, and I didn't stay completely up to date with these trackers or really utilize them to their fullest extent, but I think that they look really nice, and I am hoping to do them again in 2025. And on these pages, I tracked my rereads and my series. And here I have my physical TBR, which again, I didn't really keep up with. And then I have my book bingo, which I did keep up with, and I got over half of the boxes filled, but I only made one bingo. So I'm hopeful to have more bingos in 2025. Then flipping forward, we have my yearly stats page, and I love how this looks, and I love that I can see all of the stats that I care the most about at a glance. The stats that I'm tracking here are the number of books I read each month, and then the format and source of each of those books. And then we have some more trackers. And again, I didn't completely stay up to date with these, but I tracked my book mail and my Kindle Unlimited TBR before I canceled my Kindle Unlimited subscription, as well as my ARCs. And I love the purple Halloween vibes of these spreads. Next, we have my spread for the year in Eldia, or the Magical Readathon Year of Adventure. And this is like an add-on to the regular Year of Adventure readathon. So each month, aside from April and August, there was a different book prompt. And my character went on this route and ended up getting a rescue cat. And I just really love the colors in this spread. The stickers are so cute. I love the little critters, the cat, the witch, the dragons. I just love it, and it was a really fun reading challenge. Then we're going into my first monthly spread, and I love how this one looks. I love the colors of the pinks and blues and all of this Maragona Sully art, and of course the little kitties. And in January, I read 8 books, and I really was able to find a groove of making cover pages and tracking only what I truly cared about, because in previous years I would track way more than I even cared about, and it was really hard to keep up with. But I really love the style of cover page with the little bookshelf and the stats that I did this year. and I will be carrying them forward into 2025. And then flipping forward to my book reviews. So I do 6 different spots for book reviews on each spread. And I like to write a little thing about each book, regardless of if I give it 1 star or 5 stars. So in January, I read kind of all over the place. I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I really enjoyed it. And then I was surprised to enjoy Kiss of the Selkie so much. It is a Fae Little Mermaid retelling, and I just really loved it. And then I also read A Fragile Enchantment, which was one of my highest anticipated releases for the beginning part of last year. And I started the Shatter Me series, which the 2010s were so special. That's all I'll say. And I read the second book in the War of Lost Hearts trilogy, and I absolutely loved it. And then I had an extra space for a quote, so I used, "Books she has found are a way to live 1,000 lives, or to find strength in a very long one," which was from The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And then I have a 1-pager for A Fragile Enchantment, and I absolutely love the vibes, the Bridgerton-esque colors and dresses and objects just look so good. I really love this one. And then we have my spread for Kiss of the Selkie, and like I said, this was a Little Mermaid retelling. So I used some Little Mermaid stickers, and I just really like all of the pinks, and it's really pretty and fits with the kind of fun Fae romance vibe of the book. Then we have one of my favorite spreads of the year, and that was for Children of Fallen Gods, or the second book in the War of Lost Hearts trilogy. And moths play a big part in this story, so I love all of the little moths and butterflies in the spread, as well as the maidens, because it is kind of like a women's power kind of story. And then we're going into my February cover page, and I love the Valentine's Day stickers and washi tapes. I just think it looks so cute. And this was a great reading month. I read 9 books. So I read another one of those fairy tale retellings in A Taste of Poison, which was a Snow White retelling. I continued on into the Shatter Me world, reading 3 more of those books and liking them to different degrees. And then another highly anticipated book for me was Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and I liked it. It was a vampire and werewolf romance. And then I read an arc of Sunbringer, which is the second book in the Fallen Gods trilogy, and this was another highly anticipated book for me, and I really, really loved it. And then this was right before Dune 2 came out, so me and some of my friends buddy read Dune. Now again, we have a 1-pager for A Taste of Poison, and I really love the vibes, the stickers that I was able to use with this being a Snow White retelling. I think it looks really cute. And then for my spread for Sunbringer, I think it matches the story really well, because in the book there are these gods on Earth who are physically manifested as different creatures and beings. One of them is like a flying rabbit with horns. So these different magical creature stickers really fit with that vibe. And I just really love this book. And then I have a few book tracker spreads that I added. This first one is for my book box backlist, and I only read 2 of them, but that's okay. We are working on it. These are just a bunch of covers of special editions that I have that I've been meaning to read. And then similarly, I did another spread for my physical priorities, and I did a little better here, reading 6 of them. And then I also tracked the new editions from different book boxes that I'm a part of, and I didn't do so great here. I only read 4 of them, and that is definitely something that I'm going to try to work on in 2025. Now, flipping forward, we have my March cover page, and of course, I love this one. If you don't know, sheep are my favorite animal, my favorite thing in the whole world, so I was really happy to use them here. And in March, I read 9 books, which was really good for me. So I started the Throne of Glass series and read 3 of those books all in March, and I enjoyed them a reasonable amount. I reread The Stolen Heir in preparation for The Prisoner's Throne, which was another highly anticipated book for me, and I just really love that series. I love the whole world. It's one of my favorites. And then I read 10,000 Stitches, and I made a 1-pager for it. And I love the blues and the colors of this spread. It is kind of a Cinderella retelling, kind of. So I used some Cinderella stickers, and I just think it looks really cute, and I just love the vibe. And then I did a double spread for The Stolen Heir and The Prisoner's Throne. So this is a duology continuation from The Cruel Prince or Folk of the Air. And I love this character art that I used and how I mixed it with these icy purple tones in the washi tape. I feel like it makes it feel really cold, which is a good representation of the series. And then this is the spread that I made for Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and Heir of Fire. And my favorite thing about this spread is definitely the character art that I got to use. It's by one of my favorite artists, and I just think it looks so good. And then flipping forward, we have my April cover page, and I read 5 books this month, and I love the cherry blossom, reading witch kind of vibes, and of course the little kitty again. I just think it looks really cute. And this month was also the spring equinox of the Magical Readathon reading challenge. So here is my setup for that. I have like my character sheet on the left side, my calling sheet on the right side, and then I have my syllabus on the next page with the different books that I have to read highlighted, and then the covers on the right side of this spread. And I really like how I set this up. It makes a lot of sense in my brain and was helpful during the month itself. And then one of my classes had an additional quest. So this last spread had the quest on the left side and then the book prompts on the right side. And I gave myself through the end of the year to finish that, and thankfully I did. Now, flipping forward to the book reviews, this month was so good just in terms of reading books that I really enjoyed and that really stuck with me. So I found a new favorite in The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and also A Fate Inked in Blood. And I have not stopped thinking about A Fate Inked in Blood, and I think I'm going to raise it to 5 stars. I'm going to reread it this spring, and we will see what I think then, but that is definitely what I'm thinking. And I had an extra space on this spread for a quote, so I used a quote from The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and that was, "And the difference between nothing mattering and one thing mattering was a big one." Now, flipping into the spreads, I tried something a little different and did 2 one-pagers together. So on the left side, I have my spread for the Hurricane Wars, and I love the vibes of this. It matches the cover colors with that purple and yellow, and I really liked this. It was a rewritten fan fiction of Reylo or Star Wars, and I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to reading the second one. And then on the right side, we have One Dark Window, which was a kind of gothic magical tale. And there's like a literal nightmare living in the main character's head. And again, I am excited to read the second book in this series. And I think that the vibes of the page looks really good and also fits with the aesthetic of the book itself. And then we have my spread for A Fate Inked in Blood, and again, I just really loved this. It was a Viking romantasy, and there's some mythology, and a very strong main character, and a very swoony love interest who I love. And like I said, I can't stop thinking about them or this story, so I'm very excited for the next book, which releases in May. And then we have one of my favorite spreads of the whole year, and this is for The Serpent and the Wings of Night. And I just love the vampire vibes. The purples are so pretty and totally my aesthetic. And of course, this is a vampire romantasy, and we have trials. And again, I just really love the main character as well as the love interest. Very swoony. I just love it. And then we're flipping into May, and I love the colors of this cover spread. The stickers and all of the pastels and bright tones are totally so fun and different, but unfortunately, I did not have the best reading month. I only read 3 books this month, and none of them were standouts really for me. So with my 3 book reviews, I chose to use my one-pager to do a quote, and the quote I chose was, "I have no desire to twist myself into knots to please people I don't even respect." And this was from A Fragile Enchantment, and it was also my favorite quote of the whole year. And then right into June, and I love the sticker that I used. This moon mermaid is just gorgeous, and again, I love these purple and blue and pink tones. And this month I only read 2 books, but I loved both of them, so I would definitely consider it still a good reading month. So I read 2 more books in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, so these are after The Serpent and the Wings of Night. And I had an extra space for a quote, so I used one from The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and that was, "So many mistakes in the end, he choked out, never you." And then on the right side, I have my one-pager for 6 Scorched Roses, and this is a novella that comes between the first and second book. And it's about 2 completely other characters, but they come back in the series. And I love how the spread turned out. These vampire girl stickers obviously totally fit the vibe. And I just love the colors and think it turned out really nice. And then we have my spread for The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. So again, this is the second book in this initial duology. And I really enjoyed this book as well. Again, I really love the characters, so it was definitely another favorite for me. And then we have my July cover page, which is super fun and bright and summery. The stickers are so cute. I love the main witch with her pink hair. And I love how I layered all the different washi tapes. It was kind of new and fun for me, and I just really like how it looks. And in July, I read 3 books, and again, none of them were complete hits for me, but that's okay. So I continued the Powerless series, reading the novella and then the second book. And then I also read a Spindle Splintered, and I did this 1-pager for that, and the pastel kind of princess vibes are really cute. This is of course a Sleeping Beauty reimagining, remix I called it. It's more of a novella, and it's very quirky, but I enjoyed it a fair amount. And then I did another double spread for Reckless and Powerful. So Reckless on the left is the second book in the series, and then Powerful on the right takes place at the same time as the first book, Powerless, but follows a different character. And I think that this spread looks really nice. I love the stickers and how I used the stickers as a border. I just really like the whole vibe. And then flipping forward, we have our August cover page, and I did this pink and black Halloween vibe, which I of course love. The washi tapes and then the stickers just look so cute and are totally my vibe. And in August, I read 5 books. So a lot of them weren't my favorite, but I did start the Falling for Fables series with Forged by Magic, which I really did enjoy. And then I also read When Among Crows, which was kind of weird, but I really liked it, and it reminded me a lot of One for My Enemy, which is one of my favorite books. And I had an extra space on this page, so I filled it with a quote from When Among Crows, and that was, "Magic is crooked, and so are we." And then I tried something different. Like I said, this book reminded me a lot of One for My Enemy, so I did a quote from that book on the left side, and that quote was, "You don't become a smaller version of yourself simply because what you once had is gone." And then on the right side, I did my 1-pager for When Among Crows. And I really love the folklore kind of vibe, the cottagecore witchy vibe of this spread. The book itself has an atmospheric, mythical creature kind of vibe while being set in an urban fantasy Chicago. And like I said, it was weird, but I really liked it, and I like some weirdness sometimes. And then flipping forward to another favorite spread of the whole year, and this was for Forged by Magic, which is a fantasy romance, romantasy about a half-orc mercenary and an elf. And it's like a forced proximity, trials, enemies to lovers, while also being pretty cozy and having dragons. So it worked really well for me, and I really enjoyed it. And I think that the spread itself looks so cute. I, of course, love the colors and the little dragons. And then we have our September cover page, and this definitely has like a darker academia vibe. I really love this sticker of the girl in the window with the wolf. It's so cute, and like I said, I just really like the vibe. And this was a great reading month. I read 8 books, and I enjoyed all of them, which was really awesome. And again, this was the autumn equinox for the Magical Readathon, so I set up these pages pretty similarly to spring. So on the left, I have my character sheet, and on the right, I have my calling card. And in the autumn equinox, your character has a heavier class load, so the syllabus is 2 pages long. So I have those 2 pages here. And then I have my little bookshelves with my book prompts and my picks for each of those. And I love how this looks. I really love the stickers that I used to decorate the top shelves. I love, of course, the purple and orange Halloween vibe. It just looks really cute. And like I said, I really enjoyed all of these books. I read Bookshops and Bonedust, which is the prequel to Legends and Lattes. I read When the Moon Hatched, which was a little bit disappointing, but I still enjoyed it. Same with The Phoenix Keeper. And then I read Heartless, which I loved, as well as Belladonna and The Crimson Moth, both of which were some of my favorites of the year. And then I reread Fireborne, which is one of my favorite books of all time. And I had an empty space on this page, and I used it for a quote from Bookshops and Bonedust, and that was, "Every book is a little mirror, and sometimes you look into it and see someone else looking back." And then I also have my one-pager for Bookshops and Bonedust, and I think it looks so cute. It really fits with that like academia vibe. I love the greens of the colors. I just love it. And then we have my spread for Heartless. So this is an origin story for the Queen of Hearts. So I finally had an excuse to use all of these Alice in Wonderland washi tapes and stickers that I've been hoarding. And I think that this spread turned out so cute. It's so whimsical and definitely fits with the world building because it is an Alice in Wonderland world. But the story was heartbreaking. I mean, you know that she's going to turn into the evil Queen of Hearts, but she starts so hopeful, and I just really enjoyed the book. So I'm happy with how the spread turned out. And then we have what I think is my favorite spread of the whole year, and this one is for Belladonna. I love these washi tapes that I used, as well as the character art. The blues and navies just look so pretty, and it really gives that like dreamy quality that some of the magic in this book has. And then this is another one of my favorite spreads of the whole year. September was a great journaling month as well. And this one was for the Crimson Moth or Heartless Hunter. And I really love the washi tapes paired with these two witch stickers. This is a witch and witch hunter story. It is like upper YA romantasy with equal plot and romance, and I just ate it up. It was my favorite book of the whole year, and like I said, I really love how the spread came out for it. And then I also really love how this spread for Fireborne turned out. It's one of my favorite books of all time, my favorite series of all time, and it is a dragon political fantasy. So of course I had to use some adorable dragon stickers, and I really like how I paired them with these kind of burnt orange washi tapes that really went with the colors, and these are colors that I don't really use very often, so that was fun as well. And then this is my spread for When the Moon Hatched, and this is a very beautiful and complicated dragony fantasy romance. And I did the left side a quote and the right side my review. And I think that this spread looks really cool. I did it a little differently than any of my other spreads. And overall, the vibes just match with like the book cover and my special edition of this book. Then we have our October cover page, and again, I love the orange and purple Halloween vibes, of course. And I love the little witch and the little trick-or-treaters and all of the pumpkins. It's just perfect for me. And in October, I read 4 books, and I, for the first time, read Howl's Moving Castle after loving the movie forever. I continued the Belladonna series and really loved the sequel, and I reread One for My Enemy, which again is one of my favorite books of all time. And on this spread, I had 2 empty spaces, so I did one quote from One for My Enemy, that being, "Sometimes an end is just a cleverly disguised beginning." And the other was from Belladonna, and that was, "Though I suppose fewer interruptions do make for more reading time." And then we have my spread for Howl's Moving Castle, and I think it's so pretty. These really dreamy stickers from Notebook Therapy paired with this character art from the movie just look really dreamy and match with the vibes of Howl's Moving Castle. And then my spread for Foxglove is another favorite of the whole year. And I love how the colors of these stickers and washi tapes and character art match with the actual cover of the book. Those kind of burgundy, mauve-y tones. They're so pretty, and I just love how this one turned out. And then we have kind of randomly this TBR and continuation of my yearly bookshelf spread. So I ran out of room on the initial bookshelf spread, so I just continued it here. And I think it's really cute. The decorations are adorable, and I really love the washi tape that I used. And then on the right side, I have an end of the year TBR. And spoiler alert, I only read 3 of them, but a lot of those are still on my TBR for 2025. And then this is my spread for One for My Enemy, and I love the roses that are in this spread mixed with the character art that is used in the book itself. I love this book, like I said, so I wanted an excuse to do another spread for it. And then this is my cover page for November. And I went with a very orangey pumpkin vibe. And of course, again, I love the little kitty sticker. And I read 3 books in November and enjoyed all of them. So I reread Flamefall, which is the second Fireborne book. And then I continued the Falling for Fable series and finished the Belladonna series. And then here is my 1-pager for Flamefall, and the second book has a bluish cover. So I used my washi tapes and stickers to really match the cover art, and I love how it turned out with so many dragons. And then the dragons continued when I read Brewed in Magic. So this came after Forged by Magic. And the characters are at a Yule festival and need to find this missing food. And there are also dragons in this book. So I thought that that was a good excuse to use these witches that have both bread and dragons. And I think that the spread looks really cute. And then another favorite spread from the whole year, this was Wisteria. And this is the third and final book in the Belladonna trilogy. So every single spread that I did for this trilogy was one of my favorites. And I really love the greens and blues. And I just think it looks so good. And then flipping forward, we have my December cover page. And I used this really cute kitty winter washi tape and paired it with some of my other stickers. Again, I've said it multiple times already, but I really love this color combination. And in December, I read 4 books. So I read Dungeons and Drama, which was a YA contemporary that my high school or younger self would have absolutely loved. It blended musical theater with D&D. And then I read Spectacular, which is the holiday novella for the Caraval series. And unfortunately, it followed the characters that I didn't like as much, so it wasn't my favorite. And then I read Curious Tides, which is a YA, dark academia, kind of magical fantasy, and I enjoyed that one. And then I had 2 extra spaces on this page, so I filled them with that kitty washi tape and quotes from 2 of the books that I read this month. The first one was from Curious Tides, and that was, "Naturally, nothing contented him more than libraries." And the second quote was from Spectacular, and that was, "People need holidays. They need happiness. They need joy, and they need reasons to give and to love." And then the last book spread that I did for the whole year was another one of my favorites. So this is for Curious Tides, and I just, again, really love the color combination. I love these stickers and all of the moons, especially for this book because the magic system and the academic setting revolve around moons. And then I'm flipping forward to my end of the year pages. So on this first page, I have my 2024 Hall of Fame, or my favorite books of the whole year. And of course, it is all fantasy or fantasy romance or romantasy. And then on the right side, I have just some stats and superlatives. So I read 63 books in 2024, 22 physical, 22 ebook, and 19 audiobooks. I read more than 23,000 pages, and my average star rating was 3.67. So then my next spread, I have my 2024 in videos, and these were just 8 of my reading journal videos from the year. And I will have the whole playlist for my 2024 reading journal linked on the screen and down in my description box. And then on the right side, I have my year in washi tape. And this is the washi tape from each of my monthly setups. And I just think this is fun to look at. It's a good visual representation of my year. It doesn't really serve a purpose other than making me smile. And that is the main purpose for my whole reading journal. I use it mostly as a creative outlet. I don't track too many things. I try not to do too much structure or put too much pressure on myself. It truly is like my favorite hobby, and I'm so honored that I get to share it with you all. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this 2024 reading journal flip through. If you'd like to see my 2025 reading journal setup, I'll have that linked here on the screen and in the description box down below. I'm really proud of this journal, so if you like this one, please leave a like and a comment down below. And if you'd like to see more from me, be sure to hit subscribe. I hope that you and yours are staying safe, happy, and healthy, and I will see you again next time. Thanks again. Bye-bye.